Hello my pouring friends. Today I'm going to do our group's March challenge, which is a St. Patrick's Day challenge, so it will be in green and gold. I'm doing a ring pour and I've made this little 3-pod instead of the bottom of a bottle which has 4 or 5 dents. This only has 3, so I'm hopeful that I can get the shape of a shamrock. I guess the only way we're going to find out is if we see. Do you like my Snapchat filter today? I was hopeful they had a St. Patrick's Day or a green one, but they didn't. So I quite liked this feathery one. Come on, let's go and create.
So here we are, ready to mix up, and let's have a look at what we're going to make. In these cups I've got my pouring medium, and it's literally half Floetrol and half Holcroft pouring medium, the brand Holcroft pouring medium. In Australia that's your old global pouring medium, being taken over by Holcroft. My colours that I'm choosing are Dragonfly, which is a metallic green, but it's quite a dull sagey green, but looks beautiful because of the shimmer. This Green Light from Global. I'm going to be using the metallic copper from Global, and Hooker's Dark Green. And we won't talk about why it's called Hooker's Dark Green, because shouldn't it be Hooker's Bright Red? But that was inappropriate and judgmental of me, wasn't it? And to bring my paints to consistency, to add my pouring medium to it, I'll just be using water that's got a dash of Floetrol, and it just helps the paint maintain its pigment and stay that creamy kind of texture. So let's get onto it. Oh, I'm going to be pouring on a 10 by 10 canvas square. So I've set up all my paints, and I've gone to check my canvases, and I didn't have any 10 by 10s in. So I'm using an 8 by 10, which is a rectangle shape rather than a square. And I do prefer a square at the moment, though I do like rectangles too. So anyway, who knows what I'll do. I'm squirting the back of my canvas just to help my substrate become a little bit firmer, even though I'm not using a big substrate, and that means there's not a huge amount of paint that will be sitting in the middle causing it to sink. It's just a good habit. So as you see, I've just squirted the back using, this is just tap hot water, and now I'm just going to go and get my heat gun and go and help dry that up. I don't know if you notice the difference, but it's already sounding springier. I'll be back in a sec. Here we are, ready to go with my makeshift little ring pour thing. Okay, so the reason I've decided to have it this way is so that hopefully these 2 petals will come out that way and this third one down like that. And without further ado, I'm going to layer for my ring pour. And I'm going to start with dark green, or was that the Hooker green? And for some contrast, the copper. Then that beautiful emerald, oh, it's not emerald at all, that bright green. And then the dragonfly. And I think I'm only going to do that one lot. And what I have to decide now is what I'm going to do around the edges so that the paint can go onto it rather than me covering it. And because green is in there last, it'll come out first. So I'm going to do this, just simply this. Nice and bright, and you'll notice that it is a bit away from the sides of the canvas, but it's easier for me to push the paint over the canvas than it is to, and I'll get it, like, see how easier that is? And I know that I've got a good cover on the canvas, and more than likely the paint will come out and push that paint further off. And I also like to run a secondary colour around there just to create interest. I also make sure I push into those little corner cracks. Know where your canvas folds? It looks a bit funny if it's sticking out with white. And I might do that with this secondary colour of the dragonfly, which is that sagey metallic. It's a really beautiful colour. I've used it a few times, and when we first got it and discovered it in our group, we all loved it. I don't think many of us stocked up on it. Oh, it looks like I'm going to do a puddle pour, everyone. So once again, using a huge amount of paint for a little canvas. But because it is in the St. Patrick's Day theme, it certainly will be, well, if it turns out any good, it will certainly go up somewhere just to help celebrate the day. So off I go, continually doing the sort of, well, it's not a puddle pour, is it? It's like a frame pour. Shall we call it the frame pour? And for me, that just creates a bit of interest rather than just having a negative space. And I wouldn't always do it, but in this particular one where it's a celebration pour for a theme, it is a fun pour. So I don't really know why I keep on talking about it, because it doesn't really matter, does it? So I'm getting ready to go, and I'm just going to start, and I'm going to do it in nice little circles. And now I've already can see that I'm going to have to bring the paint up and around, which means I won't get the kind of ring pour effect that I was thinking I'd get. But then how many times do we really get what we think we're going to get anyhow? So the paint's out, and you can see that there are some very nice shapes coming out. I'm just going to wait for that to spread a little bit more before I lift this makeshift thing. And here I go, getting ready to catch it. Plonking it over there. And look, it's done two splits here. And this is interesting. That top part sort of looks like it, and this bottom part sort of doesn't look like it at all. But I wonder if I do, oh, I haven't got much of this colour left. You know, just feeling brave to just help those be emphasized. Feeling that that's too much copper. But anyway, let's stretch this out. Here we go. Coming up, heaps of that paint going off. Coming down into the copper area, stretch it down here. Going to bring it back over there. Want to get rid of some of those massive exaggerated hallucinogenic lines that I see them as now. I'm pushing the whole paint off, which is so like me. If you watch a lot of my pours, you'll see that I tend to use a lot of paint, but it's how I like it. I'm getting rid of that bottom leaf, not really sure why. I think it's because I'm wanting to have some of that green there. Now I quite like that effect, so I'm going to stop now, and I'm not sure about this. It's too, what is it? It's too deliberate. So I'll do that. And I don't want any more of the copper because it's looking very orange to me. And I'll do this to break that up. And then, just to be difficult to myself, I'm going to swipe this over the top just to get some of that green in there. And it's kind of worked. It certainly looks more authentic-ish in my mind. And I don't even know what I'm making the authentic statement towards because there is nothing that compares. And now I want to sing Sinead O'Connor, which is appropriate considering it's a St. Patrick's Day pour. I'm just going to exaggerate some of those nice little existing lines there with this darker hooker green. And then I think I'm going to have to step away before I overwork it. It is certainly an interesting pour. I'm going to give it a quick torch. Where's my torch? You'd think I'd have it in reach, don't you? But no, I don't. I'll just reach over there and get it. Just pop some of those little air bubbles because I did mix and do this pour straight away, which is not something I generally do. I usually like to mix my paint up and leave it for about an hour, if not overnight, but at least an hour, just so that the air bubbles reduce and all of the ingredients have a chance to merge at that molecular level. So that's my St. Patrick's Day pour. What I'll do is cover it up with one of these awesome food covers and we'll check on it tomorrow. Hopefully it will look gorgeous. All right. It's Friday night here. I'm going to go and have some beer and pizza. Cheers, everyone. Thanks for watching. And here it is, dry the next day. And I really, really do like the lines. I like how the copper has broken up the green because the green was feeling very vibrant to me. Let's see it this way around. And the copper's given some really nice metallic finishes. And I think I'll resin coat this because I think it will just sing and look gorgeous, and then put a white frame around it. So thanks for watching. How's your St. Patrick's Day challenge going?